Within a couple of weeks of starting at a personal injury law firm, I realized it was a business. And I realized that I may have been the only one, other than the named partner in the firm, who knew that. Everyone else was just sort of clocking in, clocking out, servicing, working a lot of hours, don't get me wrong, but they were being lawyers and they weren't thinking about the business side of things. And a light bulb just went off in my head. And all of a sudden, ideas and opportunities and opinions began to form. And here I am today, on the other side of things.
So I want to ask you about that. Like, what was it that led to that realization that, hey, this is a business? Because there's a lot of lawyers, that will go their entire careers without making that realization, and you make it in a few weeks.
So it was at Parker Wakeman, New York national law firm. They spent millions on marketing, right? For those who don't know or are new to the industry, in the personal injury world, it's a contingency fee mapping or model, I should say. And the law firms only get paid if they're successful. And they had to gamble a lot. And it took years sometimes for cases to resolve for a fee. So when I got to the office and I realized there was an intake department, there was a settlement department, there was a marketing department, and all the money that was flowing out, and then learning about what had to happen from a lead to become a client, to become a settled client, to become someone that made some money and the firm made some money, it dawned on me that, first of all, the margins could be tremendous. And then second of all, that there were so many leaks and so much space where not only that law firm, because they were really good at what they did, but that law firm and every other law firm, they were just missing it. And I remember very clearly walking into my boss's office. I had to schedule a meeting, right? 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes for me. I was still there for only a few weeks. And I thanked him for the opportunity. And then I said to him, by the way, if there's ever an opportunity for me to be involved in the business side of the firm, I'd love that. And he kind of said to me, that's great, Gary. Thanks so much. Now, please go back to your office and do what I'm paying you to do. Right. And that was it. And I continued to be a personal injury attorney and talk to a lot of clients all day long. And about a year and a half later, the managing attorney of the intake opened up and they offered it to me. And I just ran. I sprinted with it. I learned as much as I can. I remember sitting down my first day with that title with an intake specialist and just listening, just watching and learning. Hey, what are you doing? What are the conversations like? What's your scripting like? What is your goal here? And I've been a sponge ever since.
So then on that note, on intake, you're clearly quite passionate about it. You go all around the country consulting with firms on intake. You wrote a book on intake. And many times if someone's talking about intake in the legal industry, your name comes up. Like, how do you get so obsessed with intake in particular?
If you asked me in law school, I'd have no idea what you were talking about right now, right? How did I become obsessed? I think I have a knack and a passion for wanting to find the inefficiencies and then wanting to find the solutions. And intake to me was one of those glaring inefficiencies where law firms started making decisions unilaterally about how to handle their leads. And that would have a significant impact. When you started to hear about what some of these cases could be worth and how much it cost for the law firm to acquire just that lead, it was head scratching for me to understand why law firms gave up so quickly. Why did we give up on a lead if they reached out to us? Whenever I talk to a law firm, I always say, here you are, a law firm, marketing for this type of client. And then this type of client, exactly the one you're marketing for, reaches out to you. Why are we not signing 100% of those? How is it possible we're not signing 100% of the people that meet our criteria and reach out to us? Yet here we are living in the world, in our industry, where on average, more than 40% of the people that we want, that reach out to us, don't sign with us. It's crazy.